Welcome to Dream Life Design. This is the course overview. Welcome to the Dream Life model. This is what we're going to use to develop your life plan. The first half is all about unlocking your potential. We're going to start by exploring your identity and who you are as an individual. Develop a sense of inner awareness. And then we're going to do a self-evaluation and reflection and develop an outer awareness by compartmentalizing misery, bliss, and gratitude. And then we're going to develop your aspirations. So we'll really think about what the future can look like and what you're capable of, and really measuring your potential here. And then we're going to establish changes and life missions. So we're going to look at the changes you need to implement in your life in order to reduce misery, increase bliss, and strengthen gratitude. And the missions are basically the results that we're looking for by implementing these changes. And then once we've developed an outlook on life, we can set goals to achieve that outlook, those life missions, and we set those goals in priority order. And then we're going to set objectives to achieve those goals. So breaking down those objectives into research, mindset, and action objectives. So making sure that you accomplish your goals successfully. This is the second half of your life plan. So this is all about unleashing your potential and scaling up towards that dream life. So once you've arrived at a point of fulfillment, when you've really shown yourself what you're capable of and achieved the results that you set out to achieve, you're going to scale that life up by setting immediate goals, intermediate goals, and ultimate goals. So a life plan towards achieving and accomplishing those aspirations. Welcome to the final lesson, Scaling Your Dream Life. So all the development that you've done really will enable you to dissect your dream life into aspirations. You've already identified significant aspirations in your life, and based on what you've learned about yourself and what you've developed in terms of your immediate life plan, you're able to understand what aspirations you'll be able to work on first. So then we're going to break down those aspirations after we've identified those into goals, and these goals work in stages. So you have your immediate goals, your intermediate goals, and your ultimate goals, working your way up towards accomplishing those aspirations there. We're going to look at the role of life missions, that minimum level of fulfillment, the results of having implemented those changes in your life to reduce misery, increase bliss, and strengthen gratitude. And then, of course, we have your homework exercise, which is all about setting those level of goals in order to achieve your aspirations. And then we got a lot of content to present to you as well, to live your best life, why you matter, dancing with negativity, isolation and loneliness, and also looking beyond the dream life too. So scaling your dream life, step one is to dissect the dream into aspiration. So what I want you to do is select and develop an aspiration, one social aspiration that you can likely accomplish based on the results you've attained on your immediate life plan from section one. Then think about an economic aspiration. Think about the results that you're looking to attain by implementing the changes in your life to increase bliss. Now think about one specific economic aspiration that you could work towards once you've accomplish that. And the same with personal aspirations too. So think about personal aspirations that you can get started on once you start living life from having attained the results of your life missions. And think smart. Remember, really be specific here. Now we're working with one specific aspiration that you've identified. This whole process is just repeated for different aspirations once you accomplished it. So really think about the next logical step in your life when attaining your dream life. It's all about identifying singular aspirations that you can start working towards in a more of a chronological manner. What can you achieve within 3 years? That's kind of the goal that's kind of the timeline, sorry, that we're working from. So think about your social aspirations. When you're selecting those specific aspirations for social, economic, and personal aspirations, think along the lines of a 3-year timeline. Maybe you can do it sooner, but try and see what you can achieve within 3 years. Then after those 3 years, once you've accomplished these specific aspirations, you repurpose this model and start pulling in other aspirations. And again, think about the 3-year plan from where you're working from. So once you've identified 3 key aspirations, you want to break down those aspirations into goals. Remember, you'll be working from your minimum level of fulfillment. So you would have already achieved the state of fulfillment that you're looking for to build and scale up your dream life. So what's a 3-year plan from that state? Set smart goals and objectives for each aspiration. So whenever you set a goal, you need to make sure that they're smart. The same rules still apply when goal setting in this stage of your life. But this time you're an expert, you're already experienced at it. So it's a matter of navigating towards that aspiration mindfully. So what immediate goals can you accomplish once you are ready to start embarking on developing that aspirations? What can you accomplish within a year from accomplishing your life missions? What can you accomplish within 2 years of accomplishing your life missions? How can you scale up those immediate goals? And what are the intermediate goals that you're going to be working on? What's the second stage of development towards your aspiration? And within 3 years, what's that third stage of development? So what you're essentially doing is breaking down your aspirations into a 3-year plan. The first year plan is all about the goals that you need to implement right away. Then what's next, and then think about what comes after. Think about that 3-year process towards accomplishing your aspiration that you've identified. Feel free to add additional goals if necessary. I suggest 2 for each set of goal, for each stage of your life when moving on from your missions to your aspiration. Nevertheless, each of our aspirations will be uniquely different, so you may need to add additional goals if necessary. Try to stay within a 3-year timeline for each aspiration. So break down your goals into a 3-year timeline. Stay mindful. You may not accomplish everything you want in one lifetime. Therefore, experience what you can fully. This is why we develop your My Life model to be a fulfilling experience. It's not about just churning out productivity for the sake of accomplishment. It's about feeling fulfilled with the life that you're building, which is why we construct your life plan in such a way, which is why we break down your aspirations in such a way. It's important that you enjoy the experience and you are learning and growing as you develop. The role of life missions then, so they represent the minimum level of fulfillment. They're derived from changes to reduce misery, elevate bliss, and strengthen gratitude. They're going to allow you to self-manage and regulate. So they're designed to keep your identity intact as you build your dream life. So if ever you feel as if your life is thrown off or you don't feel like yourself, just look at your life missions and see if there's an area of your life that you've neglected, that there's a result that you achieved that you have not maintained. If ever you find yourself getting off balance or you've identified areas of your life that you've neglected, start working on those areas. Start looking at your life missions as a way to manage and develop your life mindfully and in a way that's really going to help you succeed. Your life missions also represent positive mental health management too, because again, you're really working towards maintaining this minimum level of fulfillment. You can't progress until you've achieved and successfully nestled into your minimum. And no matter how far you progress into your dream life, you know what it is you need to work your way back up to in order to start the process of developing your dream life. Again, there's going to be challenges along the way, but so long as you maintain your life missions, you will keep your potential unlocked. That's how to do it. Develop your life missions, that specific outlook, the results of the changes you're looking to implement in your life today are going to develop your life mission statement. That's going to help you build the dream life that you're looking for. That is who you are. That's the best version of yourself. That's where we want to be operating from. So always pay attention to the role of life missions in your life, which is why we spent the first model really developing and mindfully constructing your life plan to achieve these life missions. Remember, your life missions are the result of reducing misery, increasing bliss, and strengthening gratitude. If you fall off plan, this is where you come back to. If you realize you're losing track of self, this is where you focus back on. So your life missions are very, very important, which is why I can't stress enough how important they are to your personal development. So your homework exercise then, using the Dream Life Plan worksheet. So I want you to open the Excel or Google Sheet and navigate to the Goals to Aspirations tab. And then from that, I want you to reset your life mission. So the life missions that you identified in the first half of the model, you can transfer now to this section of the model. However, they should automatically populate if you're using the Excel sheet. Nevertheless, update and refresh your missions if necessary. Then start setting your aspirations. So from the aspirations tab, start dragging in a specific aspiration that you think that you'll be able to accomplish within 3 years of attaining your life mission. So attaining the result of an implemented change. Think about setting a social, economic, and personal aspiration. And again, think of that 3-year plan and build accordingly. And then set goals to objectives. Set those immediate, intermediate, and ultimate goals. Remember, there's 2 for every aspiration in every section. So 2 immediate goals, 2 intermediate goals, and 2 ultimate goals to help you accomplish your aspirations. Remember, the SMART rules still apply. They still have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time constraint. And remember, you have your objectives to help you achieve your goals. Just reset your objectives for each goal that you develop. It's going to be so much easier to build your dream life if you follow this plan, because you are mindfully constructing your life plan based on you as an individual, based on what you need in terms of emotional fulfillment, and giving you more control over your life and more control over what you experience with it. It's time to live your best life. So remember, always keep on learning. You exist to learn, because what you learn shapes your world. So if you're having a crappy experience of the world, keep on learning until you discover what it's going to take in order for you to develop fulfillment, to have a happy and healthy and more individual and independent experience of life. Keep on learning and you will stumble upon what's going to make you happy. Impact, leave your mark. This is it. We can all agree, despite what we individually believe in, we can all agree that we're experiencing the world as we know it in this moment of time. So this is it. Take the moment to really embrace life and leave an impression. Express yourself and really connect with people in an authentic manner. Impact the world with your existence. Don't forget to fulfill your needs dutifully. You have a duty to yourself to fulfill the needs that you were born with. Remember, we're all motivated in the same direction. So think about what it's going to take for you to fulfill your needs dutifully. Your needs are the things that stimulate your motivations. So think about fulfilling those needs dutifully. Make sure you're fulfilling those needs fulfillingly. And engage, connect with the world around you and experience its energy. Remember, you exist to learn, so you may as well experience as much as you can. Take yourself to places where you can carry on this cycle of learning and impacting and fulfilling your life's duty. Think about what you can do to engage the world, to have a healthy relationship of learning and developing and contributing and moving things forward. There is a reason why you exist, therefore you matter. But to realize it, you need to put yourself in charge and avoid complacency. You're starting that already by developing your life plan based on certain specific emotional centers: misery, bliss, and gratitude. So take the time to feel, take the time to think, and then take the time to behave accordingly. Understand your needs and then really fulfill your needs. Your body is your most valuable asset. Remember those decision-making tools that I shared with you. Your priority is your physical well-being, then your mental, and then onward towards your future and what you desire. Without you, there is nothing to experience. If your physical body is not intact, you can't experience the world completely. So take care of yourself physically first. Health is going to always be your utmost priority, no matter what stage you are at your personal development. You could be living your dream life, or you could be just starting out. Either way, health is and should and always must remain your utmost priority. So think about physical health, mental health, and the direction you want to evolve in. and be yourself. Every other way to be is literally fake if you're not being yourself. So be yourself completely and experience the world as an individual. Discover the community that's going to embrace you, that's going to enable you to thrive, or create that community. So think about being yourself and what that will entail. How does being yourself shape your aspirations? How does being yourself define what fulfillment looks like for you? And express yourself authentically to attract the right energy. Think about love, think about relationships. If you want someone to accept you completely, then you need to accept yourself completely first. So be yourself. There literally is no other way to be unless you're being fake. As you work your way up to your dream life, you're going to be dealing with a lot more negativity, and you're going to understand how to best dance with negativity to keep on moving forward in a mindful manner. The first thing we should really explore is negative people. Remember, they're just people who you feel restricted by, people who don't allow you to be yourself completely, who don't let your identity blossom and express itself. So, and remember, to someone else, you too are a weakness or an opportunity, a strength or a threat. So this is how people interact. So you need to develop that sense of awareness, and that's all that differs in people essentially, is their level of self-awareness. You've increased your significantly by developing your life plan. Now think about how you can help others do the same. How can you support their development and growth based on what you've understood through this exercise? Negative emotions are like check engine lights, that's all. Negative physical or emotional pains are trying to alert you to something, just like when an engine is overrun. So if you're experiencing any negative physical or emotional pain, you need to stop and start thinking about how to fix the problem in order to keep on functioning and moving your life forward. Isolation and loneliness, another common problem of developing an independent path in life and navigating yourself towards your own aspirations. Remember, fulfillment is often self-led, self-esteem, self-actualization, self-realization, self-transcendence. That's why they're so personal. That's why they mean something only to us. You're having your own conscious experience. Only you can see the world through your eyes. Only you can experience the world through your own physical senses. So how are you going to navigate that forward? So isolation and loneliness is common because sometimes only you understand what you're looking to accomplish. Only you understand what your fulfillment looks like. Eventually, as you progress, that's why I said setting goals really helps you talk about your life, because you understand what that is and how to better communicate that. So that's where another advantage of building your life plan develops. It allows you to communicate who you are and communicate yourself to others more effectively. So you really can limit a lot of that isolation and loneliness just by connecting with individuals who get you. Always bring it back to basics. Whenever you feel yourself overwhelmed by isolation and loneliness, connect to awareness, curiosity, and truth. Go back to that very first lesson. Remember, develop an awareness, engage with the community around you, engage curiosity, develop your confidence, understand who you are again, and connect with inner truth, because chances are there's something there that's restricted that you could develop in order to bring yourself out of this state of isolation and loneliness. And then focus on your basic needs too. Sometimes all you need to do is take care of yourself. Think of those physiological and safety and security needs. Maybe you start by cleaning up your apartment or cooking yourself a very healthy and mindful meal. Sometimes that's all it takes to break that sense of isolation and loneliness and into that state of productivity again. Your life plan is designed with this in mind. Your social aspirations are your connection to the world. Your economic aspirations are your connection to yourself. And the personal aspirations are basically the world's connection to you. So how does the world interact with you? That's your personal aspirations. What are you connecting with in the world that makes you feel as if the world is yours and yours only? Your economic aspirations, what's going to make you feel as if you're worth being alive, that the experience of life is worth it. And your social aspirations, what are you contributing? You dealt with a lot, you've overcome a lot of challenges as a human, as an individual. How can you help others do that? So really think about those social, economic, and personal aspirations and what different roles they play in your life. So beyond the dream life, remember the dream life is a notion for fulfillment. So how you identify your dream life and what you interpret the dream life to be is essentially an emotional state that you're trying to envision or create within the experience that you're having of the world. Fulfillment is an emotional experience. That's where you're guiding yourself towards. You're trying to fulfill the experience that you're having as a human being, as an individual. As you begin to fulfill the needs of your outer life. So as you start constructing your life plan and building the life that you want, you'll soon develop a desire to fulfill the needs of the inner life. So once you're living your dream life, you're going to be motivated to discover a sense of transcendence. So the outer life is the experience of life through your physical senses. Your inner life is the experience of life through your metaphysical senses. So your emotions and your gut instincts. Self-realization and matters pertaining to existentialism are definitely going to be motivations guiding this realm of your life. So after you've built your dream life, you've accomplished a specific set of aspirations, you're building your life forward, you're going to start developing motivations towards transcending your experience of your life, transcending and building that inner life experience, moving from self-actualization onto self-transcendence, which Abraham Maslow essentially outlined but did not present. So self-actualization to self-transcendence. So the motivation, so after you've accomplished the sense of self-actualization, your motivations and your needs are going to be directed towards that sense of self-transcendence. So how? Well, you're going to be embarking on more of an inner journey, a spiritual journey if you prefer. So you can do the meditation mastery course to start exploring the inner world in more depth. Venture out to spiritual retreats, or maybe a personal pilgrimage of sorts. Either way, your inner calling will start being louder as you start developing your life in a healthy and positive direction. Remember, as you build towards your dream life, you're learning a lot about yourself and the world around you. So naturally, you're going to start raising more questions the more you engage with life's experience. So this is my way of preparing you for what comes after. So to summarize this lesson, we first started by dissecting the dream life into aspirations by identifying a single social aspiration, economic aspiration, and personal aspiration. Then we looked at breaking down those aspirations into a 3-year plan, into specific goals, into immediate goals, so goals you can accomplish within 1 year of attaining your life mission, intermediate goals, so goals you can accomplish within 2 years of attaining your life mission, and ultimate goals, which you can attain within 3 years of attaining your life missions. So basically, we're looking to satisfy aspirations that we can accomplish within a 3-year plan. Remember, you can develop a set of aspirations that you accomplish in 3 years. Once you've accomplished those aspirations, then you reset the model with a new set or series of aspirations that you can complete within 3 years. Keep with that plan. You can add more goals if you need to. Rework your aspirations and goals as and when you need to, but keep on moving forward. Remember the role of life missions. They're going to help keep your identity intact and keep you moving forward in a happier and healthier manner in your life. The homework exercise is all about scaling your dream life. So think about what life will look like when you've accomplished your life missions and what aspirations you can start working on and accomplish within 3 years. Remember to live your best life. Learn, impact, fulfill, and engage. Learn. You're always going to be learning throughout life. Always work to impact others, impact the world around you. Fulfill your needs dutifully, take care of yourself properly, and engage, interact with the world. Really allow yourself to have a two-way relationship. Let the world teach you some things and really see what you can teach the world too. Why you matter. Remember, you exist for a reason. To actually discover it, you need to start embarking on an independent path in life and really looking to seek to settle your emotional experiences in life. That's essentially what the dream life is comprised of. It's an emotional state, not necessarily a vision that you're looking to work towards. Dancing with negativity. Remember, negative people, they exist because you feel restricted by them. So how can you lift those restrictions? Well, you develop a sense of self-awareness. Every person is either a strength, a weakness, an opportunity, or a threat. And you are essentially the same to other people too. So start thinking in that terms and raise your self-awareness to be more tolerable of negative people. And isolation and loneliness. Remember, this is an independent path, so sometimes it may take a while for others to understand it, for the world to understand it, because remember, you're trying to unlock your unique potential and then unleash it onto the world. So at times, only you are going to understand your level of fulfillment, only you are going to understand your life plan, and sometimes only you will understand where you're headed in life. And if that's the case, that then prepare for the isolation and loneliness. Remember, that's why we set goals, because they help us communicate what we want from life and where we're going by looking at what we're working on right away to justify your experience that you're having today. And then beyond the dream life, a look at self-transcendence. Those motivations will creep up. You will develop a desire to settle needs about your actual existence, who you really are, what your spirit is comprised of, what is consciousness, where did you come from? These are the type of questions that will really start entering your mind once you've experienced everything that you can possibly want to experience in the outer life. And once you fulfill the outer experience of life, you're going to look to get started on fulfilling the inner experience of life. That's it. That's Dream Life Design. Thank you for making it to the end. Well done on constructing your life plan. Now start engaging your life in the best way you know how. Keep your identity intact. Work towards accomplishing those life missions. Once you've met them, start scaling your life up towards your dream life. You know how to make the plan now. You know how to stay motivated. You know how to move your life forward. So go out there and make something happen. If you have any questions, feel free to join in on any one of our Q&A webinar sessions live on Ngomu. Thank you for taking part, and I'll see you soon.